Late in the clock here for Gonzaga. Drew Timmy off the bounce, off the window. He does it all.
So smooth. The Zags are headed to the Sweet 16. We'll tell you what's coming up next for the Bulldogs and look back at some of the record-breaking number of upsets we've already seen in this year's tournament.
And the kennel might not be an option this year, but the Zag spirit is better than ever.
But yeah, I'm just glad we got the opportunity, even if it's just like the first and second round.
We've been looking forward to this ever since they announced that fans were going to be allowed.
I sat down with a couple seniors who got the chance to cheer on the Zags in Indianapolis.
And it is currently 26 degrees outside. It's a chilly start to the day. A little bit of fog, but by this afternoon, sunshine and warmer temps.
And more than 400 people have been charged in the Capitol riots from January. One of them is from Southwest Washington.
There was a photo that was widely circulated, and the suggestion is that that's you behind this gentleman. Is that you?
Yes.
This morning we'll hear directly from him about his involvement at the Capitol.
Up with KREM begins now.
Well, the Zags are on their way to the Sweet 16. That headstand gets me every time. Next stop is a game against Creighton. The stands between Gonzaga and the Elite Eight. The team posted this video of their locker room celebration as Coach Few started the Gatorade War. But just as they've done twice already to their opponents, Dana Marie, it was the team that really finished it, right?
Oh my gosh, what a great game against the Sooners we had. I was nervous in the beginning, but that at least 10-point spread just kind of made me relax a little bit. They are so talented, those three-point shots. Timmy and the mustache, so many good things to talk about this morning.
Yeah, that mustache is amazing. We'll get to that in just a bit, but we got to take you outside, let you know what to expect in the world of weather today. Temps in the mid-20s as we kick things off. And as I look out to the horizon, you can now start to see it shine. The sun's starting to come up. I think that's going to melt a lot of that frost that we're seeing around. And what that means is that we'll put a little more moisture in the atmosphere. Some of that will condense as it rises. So a little bit of patchy fog early on this morning. We're seeing that in Coeur d'Alene, visibility down to 1.25 miles. Downtown Spokane, visibility down to about 1/4 mile. Up and over Lookout Pass, it is some thick fog as well. So be ready for it as you head out the door. And be ready for some cool temps. Everybody's down near 30 degrees this morning, if not into the 20s. That's us here in Spokane, and up in Sandpoint, it's a chilly start to the day. There is no doubt about it. Radiational cooling. You get rid of the wind, you get rid of the cloud cover, you get rid of the moisture, and all of that heat escapes up into the atmosphere overhead. But don't worry, sunshine throughout the day today is going to get rid of some of that fog, and it's going to bring about some warmer temperatures by the time we get into the afternoon. We go from temps in the 20s to up near 50 later on today. And I'm telling you, the sun is coming up fast already, looking off into the distance. So get ready for a wild morning ahead.
And it was definitely a wild morning yesterday where Gonzaga was taking on Oklahoma, but they did not let anything get in their way. They made it onto the Sweet 16, beating the Sooners 87-71. So now they're going to move on to play Creighton next weekend. Now this is the 6th year in a row Zags made the Sweet 16. It's very exciting for them. Now the Zags will play right here on KREM 2. Their game against Creighton tips off at 11:10 on Sunday on the 28th of March. But the entire round of the Sweet 16 starts at 11 a.m. this Saturday. Now Gonzaga has been put on the national stage just a couple of times for the joke, "Where is Gonzaga?" You might have remembered Jimmy Kimmel kind of coining that phrase. So now we're going to ask a different question this morning. Where is Creighton?
Yeah, Creighton overwhelmed the Ohio Bobcats yesterday, winning 72-58. But here's an interesting little tidbit. They're ranked as the number 5 seed, which means if they beat Gonzaga, the NCAA wouldn't consider that to be an upset. The NCAA classifies an upset when a team who wins is at least 5 ranks below the team that they beat. Creighton University is in Omaha, Nebraska, same state as the Cornhuskers, but they come from the Big East Conference.
Earlier this month, their head coach was suspended from all team activities for comments he made during a post-game speech. The athletic director said the comments were not in alignment with Creighton's commitment to racial equity, diversity, and respect. The coach said, quote, "I made a mistake and I own it. Mistakes come with consequences, and I accept and agree with the suspension." He has since been reinstated as head coach after a one-game suspension.
Now, this year is the first time since 1974 that Creighton is advancing to the Sweet 16. One of the stars of the team is Marcus Zegarowski. His older brother is Michael Carter Williams, who is currently a point guard for the Orlando Magic. Here's what he had to say during his post-game interview.
Crazy kid. You must have seen Gonzaga play at some point this year. What do you know about that team you're about to face?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't lost yet. You know, no one has exposed them. You know, they're a complete team. They have great players everywhere. So, you know, we have almost a week to prepare for them, and we'll be ready.
In a game like this.
All right, we're going to see about that if they're going to be ready for us as they face off the Zags this Sunday right here on KREM 2. Now, closer to home, we're going to go back to yesterday's game. Many are saying that the Zags did win because of one particular player, and he was on fire.
Yeah, let's take a look at that video from yesterday, because everybody outside of the Inland Northwest is wondering, who's Drew Timme? Well, if you take a look at your screen, we're going to show you. He's the player that Mark Few actually went after first with that Gatorade. As you see here, this video makes me laugh every time, Dana Marie. I'm sorry.
No, I absolutely love it. Drew Timme actually led all scorers with 30 points in Gonzaga's face-off against the Oklahoma Sooners. So Timme started his career with the Zags as a freshman back in 2019, and appeared in all 33 games of the season. He was named the West Coast Conference All-Freshman in all tournament teams.
Now, during yesterday's game, broadcasters talked about Timme's signature chest bump with Coach Few before every game. That's a pregame handshake of sorts that Timme has with each teammate. He actually told KREM that the chest bump both loosens everybody up and pumps them up for the game at the same time. But a lot of college basketball fans got to know about Timme and his famed mustache for, as we show it right here, obvious reasons, right?
Absolutely. We do have a poll on social media if you think that he should shave it
Nope.
or keep it for the Sweet 16.
Nope.
All right, well, it's time now for your morning rush. More news in less time.
A Pierce County mother is turning tragedy into advocacy, saying no one should have to go through what she has this month. Lorraine Crossley says her 13-year-old son died after crashing on his skateboard. She says his death could have been prevented by wearing a helmet.
As someone who has lost their child because of this, that pain is something I never want anyone to feel.
Crossley started a foundation called Wear It for Bear It to encourage helmet use.
A trial date has been set for next month for the man accused of firing into a crowd outside of a downtown Coeur d'Alene bar last summer. Austin Sherper from Whitefish, Montana is charged with 8 counts of first-degree attempted murder. Witnesses told police Sherper yelled at them as he left the bar and threatened to come back and kill them. Police say he returned and fired 6 to 9 shots. 2 people were hurt and sent to the hospital. We'll be following this trial on Up with KREM when it starts in late April.
An inmate at the downtown Spokane jail has died while being transported to medical services yesterday afternoon. According to a county spokesperson, the inmate became unresponsive during transportation to the jail's medical services division. Now, we do not know the inmate's name or the manner or cause of death yet, but according to the county spokesperson, 2 doses of Narcan were administered before the inmate died. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office will be investigating the inmate's death. And this is a developing story. We will bring you the latest right here on Up with KREM as it comes into our newsroom.
More than 400 people have been charged in the Capitol riots. One of them is Jeff Grace of Battleground. That's in Southwest Washington. Grace is charged with knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted building or grounds without lawful entry. Grace attended the pro-Trump rally before entering the building. He told federal agents he left after seeing people damage Capitol property. Grace says he played no part in the violence. 5 people died, including a police officer that day.
I would pray that if any of my actions caused any of that, that I would pray for forgiveness from their family, I guess. I don't know.
Since his arrest, Grace has lost his job as a long-haul trucker. He faces up to a year in prison.
Northern Quest Resort and Casino has announced it plans to move forward with its popular summer concert series this year and announced the lineup. The outdoor venue will kick off their summer season on July 22nd with Ice Cube, Smokey Robinson, Rodney Carrington, Brantley Gilbert, Foreigner, and Darius Rucker are also on the schedule, which does run through September. That's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKrem on social media.
And coming up here on Up with KREM, the Gonzaga player behind one of the most famous shots in our team's history is joining us here on Up with KREM to talk about the tournament. We're going to see that interview live only here at 8:30.
This is in Spokane are warning their Facebook followers about scammers. Nicole Hernandez reached out to one business owner about that warning. Hey there, Nicole.
Yeah, Joshua, one of those business owners that is actually affected by this is Nathan Peabody here at Donut Parade. Coming up in the next few minutes, I will explain exactly what these Facebook users are doing to scam their customers.